All right. Hey, this is Todd. I'm just a regular dude walking in the Word. Hey, today it's entitled, the message here is Things We Get from Egypt. You're looking like, what do you mean with things we get from Egypt? Well, let's read today. We're going to be reading again Genesis chapter 12, verses 10 through 20. Again, we talked about yesterday how, not Moses, Abram went to Egypt, and he should not have been there. He should have stayed in the land of Canaan and cried out to God to ask for help with this. But instead, he goes to Egypt, which represents the world. Okay? As a result, he's going to get some things there that initially they look like, oh, this is great. Okay? But it's a curse to him. Chapter 13, verse 1. No, not 13. 12. Chapter 12, verse 10. Huh. Now there was a famine in the land, and Abram went down to Egypt to live there for a while because the famine was so severe. As he was about to enter Egypt, he said to his wife Sarai, I know what a beautiful woman you are. When the Egyptians see you, they will say, this is his wife. Then they will kill me, but will let you live. Say you are my sister, so that I will be treated well for your sake, and my life will be spared because of you. Ah, what a guy. Verse 14, when Abram came to Egypt, the Egyptians saw that Sarai was very beautiful, and when Pharaoh's officials saw her, they praised her to Pharaoh, and she was taken into the palace. He treated Abram well for her sake. Okay? And Abram acquired, look at this very carefully in verse 16. He treated Abram well for her sake, and Abram acquired sheep, cattle, male and female donkeys, male and female servants, and camels. Okay? Verse 17, but the Lord inflicted serious diseases on Pharaoh and his household because of Abram's wife Sarai. So Pharaoh summoned Abram, and what have you done to me, he said. Why didn't you tell me she was your wife? Why did you say she is my sister, so that I took her to be my wife? Now then, here is your wife. Take her and go. Then Pharaoh gave orders about Abram to his men, and they sent him on his way with his wife and everything he had. Okay. Abram basically got here. He got a whole bunch of animals, and he got servants. And you're looking at that, and you're going, so what's the big deal? What's wrong with that? The two things he got wealth and he got servants. Each of those things ended up turning not so good for him, for Abram. Okay, let's start with the wealth. Abram was wealthy before he even came in here, and he got this extra wealth when he came in here. This just made it more of a snare, and something that just, instead of now probably taking 30 days to travel to one place to the other, it probably took 60 days because of this huge amount of animals that he had now. Okay? So he had that, and that would become such a problem that later on, when Abram and Lot get into the land, it's like, we got too much stuff. We have to separate out, and then Lot takes, the good land because of that. So that it looked like a blessing, but it was actually not so good. Okay? The other thing is this. He got servants. And you're like, oh, okay, big deal, servants, and we never hear of it again. That's wrong. Okay, you do hear of that again, because later on, when him and Sarah can't get pregnant, Sarah makes this suggestion, hey, this servant that I have, Hagar, why don't you sleep with her? And Abraham goes, okay, yeah, great idea. Where did that servant come from? That servant came right here from Egypt, okay? That servant wouldn't have been here if he wouldn't have gone to Egypt that first time, okay? But he did, and so now he's got that Hagar. What happened then, he had a child, Ishmael, from Hagar, and then he had, then Sarah eventually got pregnant, okay? What happened then is you had Ishmael, and that from even to this day, right now, the descendants of Ishmael have been a thorn in the flesh to the Jewish people, okay? And God had not intended that to happen at all, okay? but it was Abram's disobedience, really, that caused that, and him and Sarah's bright idea to just sleep with the servant, and she can have children for you. Well, and again, that's not what God intended. So the bottom line here is the things that he got in Egypt that looked like they were great, like the wealth, and oh, that's great. No, that just became more of a hindrance. And then the servants, the one he got, Hagar, has been a downfall, and has been something of a thorn in the side, even up until this day right here. Those people have been a problem. All right, and so don't think that everything just turned out rosy here. Abraham disobeyed, and the things he got that looked like they were good from Egypt turned out to be disastrous. All right, so watch in your lives, things that you think are great and you got to have could end up to being a disaster for you if it's not in God's will. All right, thanks for watching. I'm just a regular dude walking in the Word, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow as we continue our journey through the book of Genesis. Lord's blessing. I'll see you then.